This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, February 4th. I'm here with Brandon and Erica. I'm Jeff. Stephanie is still in London, and later in the show, she's sitting down with Margot Robbie and other stars of the new movie Birds of Prey. Trust me, you guys do not want to miss that, so stick around. But we do have to start today with some very devastating health news for 90210 actress Shannen Doherty. Her breast cancer, unfortunately, is back, and this time it's stage 4. She tearfully opened up on Good Morning America. Let's take a look.
Hey, definitely days where I say, why me? And then I go, well, why not me? Who else? You know, who else besides me deserves this? None of us do. I would say that my first reaction is always concern about how am I going to tell my mom, my husband. When I finally do come out, I will have worked 16 hours a day. Our life doesn't end the minute we get that diagnosis. We still have some living to do.
And despite that diagnosis, Shannen went to work on the 90210 reboot last summer, if you remember, just 4 months after co-star Luke Perry died. Let's take a look.
It was so weird for me to be diagnosed and then somebody who was, you know, seemingly healthy to go first. It was really like shocking, and the least I could do to honor him was do that show. I still haven't done enough, in my opinion, so it's a hard one.
Yeah, it's tough, and we had Dr. Juran earlier today. We were talking about this very thing, you know, so he's always hopeful, but stage 4 is never a good diagnosis, you know?
Well, I mean, no, it's not ideal, and obviously we're all thinking about her and everyone who's battling. One thing that really stuck out to me was when she broke down about having to tell her mom and her husband, because, you know, that's where her mind went. And I can really appreciate that, because when my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer, she called my husband and told him what happened, and told him to make sure I get myself together before I call her, because it needs to be about a course of action, not about tears at this point. So I just honored what my mother's request was, but just the fact that she couldn't tell me without breaking down, so she had to have him do that, you know, that's just a very tough situation.
And she's probably helping so many people by coming forward. She doesn't have to come forward, right, with this news. She could kind of just do that with her family, but she's helping other people, like you said, deal with that in their own families.
Yeah, and I love, Erica, how you talked about a course of action. I guess her course of action is going back to work and continuing to work on that show, because Olympic skater Scott Hamilton had said in a recent interview with TMZ, and he had testicular cancer and 3 brain tumors. He said the stigma cancer stigmas don't help the patient. So getting back out there, and you hear her crying, saying there's still so much more for her to do, that means she's looking ahead. That means she's not just looking at this diagnosis and thinking, well, I have an expiration date that's coming up because of this disease. I love the fact that her and Alex Trebek did the same thing. Right. You continue to work because now you have something to live for and to continue to work for. So our prayers are definitely out to her.
Absolutely.
Well.
Thinking about you, Shannen.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to switch gears a little bit here. Medical professionals are hating on our friend Gwyneth Paltrow's hokey health treatments. That's right. A British medical leader is blasting her show Goop Lab, saying it features dubious wellness products and dodgy procedures. He singled out do-it-yourself coffee enemas, which can be risky, and in Gwyneth's defense, each episode starts with a warning saying the show is meant to entertain and inform, not provide medical advice.
And that's there for a reason.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm glad that he specified what he had an issue with in terms, because there's a lot of different things that they're trying on this show. I like shows like this because I want to know what's out there, what I can explore. Because it's not necessarily like this is going to be the end-all be-all for you to get to whatever your wellness goal is, but it certainly helps with the steps. I mean, anytime I implement something new, like when cryotherapy first came out, everyone's like, why would you freeze your body? Well, it turns out that I would always work out before I did cryotherapy. Like there was always this step that I added before I did whatever I was trying. It wasn't the cryotherapy, it was the fact that I was going to the gym before doing the cryotherapy that was really helping me. But something about the cryo made me want to go to the gym. I don't know, I'm wonky like that.
I like it too.
Really?
Yeah, well, you know why? Like, I love, when I was in LA, we had, the gym I went to had a cold plunge. And there is no medical facts that back up going into cold plunge is good for you, but I felt so good after I would take like a steam or a sauna and jump in that freezing cold water and stay in there as long as I can. My body felt great. So I think as long as it's not treating a medical ailment and it's just a wellness for your mind, why not?
I'm glad you said wellness. It's not a science. That's why they continue to put that disclaimer up there. And she's only had to pay out $145K out of something up to almost $1 billion of revenue that Goop has made. And I checked those numbers. So, I mean, as long as you continue to put that disclaimer out there, we talk about people are so hyped on astrology and all that horoscopes and all the other stuff. It's whatever makes you feel like this is what's going to get you out of bed and have some sort of productive day. So I'm glad it's not a science. It's a wellness thing. Like, let's say your kid gets a scrape on the leg. You blow on it. He feels better because of that. There's no science that you have this magic enzymes in your breath to make that boo-boo feel better. It's just a wellness thing that's playing with the kid's head that makes the kid feel great.
Yeah.
So a placebo effect.
Yeah, that one. Just
there you go.
Yeah, Erica, there you go. That's
the word of the day. Placebo. All right. We've been talking a lot about Jessica Simpson lately. Her new memoir, Open Book, is finally out. I got to go pick up a copy for my wife. She talked about her rocky relationship with John Mayer on the Today Show. Let's take a listen.
We were great at intimacy. We were great at loving each other. That was easy, but the relationship was very complex. And it was always on again, off again, on again, off again. And I went back close to 9 times.
So she had good sex.
I think that's the whole.
I think that's the gist.
So now, do you want to apologize to John Mayer? Because I think it was either last week or 2 weeks ago, we kind of got into it a little bit because you're like, he's airing out her business. Now she's airing out the same business that he said when he said some sort of sexual napalm or whatever. Do you remember that?
Clearly, you aren't familiar with the entire interview and why that is the last thing that I'm going to sit here and do is apologize to John Mayer.
I don't understand that though. Like, I don't.
You're out of bullets already?
No, it's not about being out of bullets. It's the same thing. He spoke to whatever.
You want me to apologize
it was
to John Mayer?
And I was going to say and me, but I know I'm not getting that. So let me just see what I can get.
So the sexual napalm with Jessica Simpson was the same interview about how he's not attracted to black women, which is not even a big thing. Like, that's okay. But you didn't have to put that out on Front Street. Like, you lost some people there, John. No, I'm not apologizing.
No, let's remove the fact of he said he don't like black women.
Okay, no,
whatever.
you just asked me to apologize to John Mayer. I said no.
Okay, because of that
End of
part.
discussion.
It's
no
not.
means no.
It's not. She just did the same thing he did. She just said she was hooked on his on
no
him.
Means no.
So it's the same thing.
You guys want to talk about Kylie Jenner?
Yeah, let's talk about Kylie Jenner.
All right, we're going to move on for
It's hard to get a sorry out of this one.
I saw you get
You aren't getting a sorry, and John Mayer isn't either.
Okay.
And that's that.
All right.
On to Kylie Jenner. She's only 22 years old, but she's already feeling pressure to have another child. The makeup mogul told Harper's Bazaar she feels pressure from her friends to give her daughter Stormi a sibling. Kylie has said in the past she wants to have more kids, but again, she's only 22 and there's no plans right now. I don't know what she's going through or what her friends are telling her. She's very young. She could wait a little while. Me personally, I wanted to definitely have 2 kids. I grew up with 2 older brothers. I want my kids to have someone to play with. We did not plan it. It just worked out like that. Yeah. So in the end, I was happy they're only 23 months apart, which I think they're going to grow up to be best friends. At least that's the hope. But I definitely would not have a kid because someone from the outside was pressuring me.
Never have a child because everybody else is doing it. Do not get married because all your friends are doing it. Do not buy a house because all your friends are doing it. You don't know their financial situation. You don't know what's happening in their uterus. You don't know what their love is about. Don't ever do it just because somebody else is doing it. That is the fastest way to mess your life up. I'm telling you right now.
I'm with you. I don't know how you feel pressure and almost contemplate maybe I will have a kid because Shirley told me.
But isn't it a little bit different with her? Like, she has the finances to, she just had a $100,000 2-year-old's birthday. So I think of it like this. If she wants to do that, she has the help to have another kid.
That's true.
Now, who knows if she wants love involved and she didn't want a bunch of baby daddies. But just think about all those little kids running around in the Kardashian family. She something better than a brother or a sister. You got like 100 million play cousins.
There
You
is
play
a lot
with
of them.
Truce or...
But they're real cousins. They're not play cousins.
I thought your play cousin was the one you play with the
No,
most.
that's the one that you aren't really related to, but you act like you're related, so that makes you play cousins.
Well, I'm not going to apologize for messing that up.
I didn't ask you to.
But okay, well, she's got a bunch of real cousins then. Go play with one of them in your $100,000 stormy world.
Like in an Italian world, if someone's not your blood relatives, they're your second cousin. That's like play cousin.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's your second cousin. So you're like, my mom, I think, was related to her somehow. You want to apologize to John Mayer real fast?
No.
All right. DBL is live. Coming up, Joaquin Phoenix does something very weird when he meets the prince. We're going to show you. Plus, a film buff who knows her stuff. Ooh, that rhymed. An expert weighs in on the Oscar-nominated movies and which ones will win the gold. And next, Stephanie Jones catches up with Oscar nominee Margot Robbie. She tells her why she had so much fun playing a bad girl in Birds of Prey.
This February, ask the one you love to be mine and get away to a Sandals Resorts luxury-included Caribbean vacation. Watch Daily Blast Live every day for a word of the day. Then enter at dailyblastlive.com/sandals for your chance to win a 4-day, 3-night romantic escape for two. The winner will be announced on DBL February 26th. What better way to say, be mine?
DBL Nation, I want to continue talking about the Stormy feeling pressure to have another kid. So you automatically knew once you had one, you wanted another one?
I definitely, yeah.
Okay.
So
What about another one?
it's funny when you start this, when you're talking about having kids, I was like, I always wanted 4 kids for some reason. I don't know. Now that I had 2, I think that's enough.
We had 2, and as soon as we had 2 and they were healthy, I said to Lynn, I think that would be it. Lynn would have had 97 if she had.
Really?
But yes, and so I made sure that we could not have any more.
And it's also a toll, which we didn't even bring up. It's a toll on that woman's body. You know what I mean? People don't think about that. You think about play cousins, things like that.
Yeah, but
I'm worried. Like when my wife was pregnant, I was worried. I didn't tell her that. But you're always a little worried.
You
for
hear
that,
stories, yeah, absolutely. Especially with the stories that we do, and it's just life in general. I think for me, I'm kind of like you. I've wanted 5 kids, like off the rip. But now you think about it, I'm 35. The possibility of that may not happen. So I'm thinking of it like a good spades hand, 3 in a pos. 3 in a possibility.
let me tell you something that you may not realize.
I think I just makes up these things like everyone knows.
In order to have those children, there has to be another person actually in the relationship.
Oh!
Come on, Bird.
Well, no,
Come on, Bird.
Were you here?
I can have it.
Michael Bell fell off the
I can
stage.
easily have a kid. I want to be with the right woman to have a
course, that's
kid
my
and stuff
point.
like that. But I'm getting baby fever. I'm not saying I'm going to go
You
do
really
it.
are? You
really?
I don't,
Please do
bro,
not.
I'm getting, Erica.
Please,
I was going to
Brandon.
talk to you about this
Please,
later on.
oh
so
my gosh.
don't
You got
say
baby
it.
fever?
Bro, I want to start to continue the London legacy. Like I want
This
that.
London legacy is not at all cracked up to be.
You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. I come from black excellence, so I have to continue that chain.
You will break that chain.
No, I will not break that chain.
You will break that chain.
What are you doing right now? Is there a meeting with
Dude, even the Roch is chiming in my ear.
What is going on right here? This is something I want. I think of my older brother. And
But you
I see him as
gotta worry about, like, I'm being serious. You gotta be in a relationship
Yes.
where you're comfortable with
Where
that.
you're in a relationship.
Like, that's a lot, man. If you're in a rocky relationship and you bring a kid in there thinking that's gonna fix things, that is the absolute wrong.
Oh my God.
Welcome back to DBL. Last week, we took you to the world premiere of Margot Robbie's new movie, Birds of Prey. Not only does Margot star as Harley Quinn, she pitched and produced it herself. But why did this A-list actress fight so hard for an all-female superhero movie? Our own Stephanie Jones found out in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Lovely to meet you all. Nice to see you're sporting a cup of tea. And not so nice to meet you because I don't want you to like peel or slice my face off or anything rather vicious.
Promise I won't.
Okay, thanks. I'm intact for now. But Margot, I want to say how honestly impressive it is that you worked and pitched so hard for this story and you produced it yourself. So Harley must have left a real impression on you from the Suicide Squad. What is it that you fell in love with so much about her?
So many things. I mean, the amount of options I've always had as an actor playing Harley, it feels endless, and that's a thrilling thing as an actor.
Is that a hyena in a bathtub?
I named him Bruce after that hunky Wayne guy.
But she's also just incredibly messed up and complicated and funny, and that, I felt in Suicide Squad, we definitely saw a side of her. We saw the version of Harley you get when she knows she's in a relationship with Mr. J and has a perceived protection because of that relationship. And in this film, I thought it'd be interesting to see what does it look like when she doesn't have that.
We have so few female superhero movies, never mind female villain movies, right?
Yeah.
So where do you guys get your inspiration from?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, totally inspired by the comics. The DC canon is incredible and filled with so many badass, complicated, messed up DC female characters. I feel like there's just a treasure trove there that we should be utilizing.
And Chris, from a guy's perspective, obviously you're surrounded by these amazing women. How's that as a guy?
It was awesome. It was the most smoothly run production I've ever been a part of. The women had no egos. Felt like a family from day one.
And Ella, you killed it, babe. You were amazing.
Thank you so much.
Obviously, this is like a huge deal, and the movie's rated R. So, do you need like a fake ID to go watch your movie?
Well, my parents, they're so supportive, and they're literally renting out like a full-on theater to watch it with.
They are?
Like they're full-on buying out the whole theater. It's crazy.
That's so cool. You were honestly fantastic, and the relationship between you both was so sweet to see. And it was so lovely to see Harley just take you under her wing.
Yeah, she's not a great babysitter, Harley. She doesn't give great life advice or boy advice, any advice, really. I think she puts you in danger more than she saves you, ultimately, but no, she's completely endeared by Cass, and her conscience is really wrestling the idea of feeling responsible for a kid, which is really going against all her natural instincts.
Oh, well, I thought it was honestly amazing. You guys, it was phenomenal.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I hope there's another one, seriously, because I want to see what you do next.
Great job, Steph. And if you can't get enough of Birds of Prey, we're not done yet. Tomorrow, we're talking to more heroes from the movie, including Miss Rosie Perez. We'll be right back.
Could someone be stealing your identity or hacking in your...
We start today with the coronavirus outbreak. At least 428 people have died, and more than 20,000 people have been infected across the world. Now, there's been a lot of panic around the globe, and today many Americans are wondering if the virus can travel on packages coming from China. The answer, no. Experts at the CDC say the virus only lives on a surface for minutes, so it wouldn't be able to survive on a package that takes days to arrive from China. DBL Nation, we do not want to fuel the panic on the coronavirus, but we do want to keep you updated on any crucial information that comes in, so I'll be sure to do that. This has been Fast Blast for you. Did you know that we're live during the commercial breaks every day on our show? Just go to Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, and I'll be there to keep you updated on all the breaking news and developing stories. Bye now.
Tonight, a so-called designated survivor will be whisked away from Washington ahead of the State of the Union address. The idea is, with so many high-profile politicians gathering in one place, there needs to be someone ready to step in as president in case of a doomsday scenario like a nuclear strike. The designated survivor is typically a cabinet-level official, and their identity is closely guarded until the last minute. Last year, President Trump chose then Energy Secretary Rick Perry just minutes before delivering his address. Whoever is chosen will then be taken to a secret location, accompanied by presidential-level security and a military aide carrying the football. That's a briefcase that houses the nuclear launch codes, a very real reminder of the weight behind the position. And that's connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. The Oscars are this Sunday on ABC, and Joker leads the pack with 11 nominations, but will it win the top awards? What about the epic war movie 1917 everyone's talking about? Movie pro Maude Garrett gives us her predictions. Let's check it out.
Yes, it is Academy Awards time with the 92nd Oscars happening February 9. And I tell you what, it's a very interesting year for comic book lovers because the comic book themed movie Joker actually is winning the nominations with 11, beating out the likes of The Irishman, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and 1917. Joaquin Phoenix did an amazing job with this movie, but is it worthy of 11 nominations?
Can you please stop bothering my kid?
Probably not. I don't think they're going to do too well on the night. So who is going to take out the movie of the year?
You have a brother in the 2nd Battalion.
Yes, sir.
My guess is that it's going to be the World War I flick directed by Sam Mendes, 1917. It is such a gripping tale. I didn't breathe the entire time I watched this movie because it all looks like it's shot in one continuous shot. It's really well done. With those 10 nominations, I think it'll take out at least 5. Also with 10 nominations, we've got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Quentin Tarantino's love letter to 1969 Hollywood, and Martin Scorsese's The Irishman, which I actually don't think will win any awards, but it's still a great movie if you have 3 hours plus of your time. So, what other movies are nominated for Best Film? We have, with 6 nominations, Jojo Rabbit, Parasite, Little Women, and Marriage Story, which also got Best Actor and Best Actress with Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. So let's talk about those actors. Who's going to win big? When it comes to the actors category, I have a feeling it's going to be Joaquin Phoenix taking it out for Best Actor. He did an amazing job in Joker.
You don't listen, do you?
Joaquin Phoenix is going to take out that one. For Best Supporting Actor,
My name's Cliff.
Me an actor?
No, I'm a stuntman.
it's Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He did an amazing job, and he's already won previously with the Screen Actors Guild Award. Moving on to the ladies. For Best Actress, it's going to be for Judy Renee Zellweger.
I just want what everybody wants. I just seem to have a harder time getting it.
She does an amazing job in this biopic playing Judy Garland. I just really hope that Charlize Theron is going to give her a run for her money. Charlize completely transforms into Megyn Kelly from Fox.
Wait, am I going to be the story? No.
No.
I'm going to be the story.
No. With the movie Bombshell. She really does an amazing job in this movie. It's super compelling, and you just don't believe that it's Charlize Theron anymore. For Best Supporting Actress, Laura Dern for Marriage Story. She's already previously won. She outshines Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, even though they're both nominated. This is going to be her movie. So there you have it, guys. My predictions for the Oscars 2020. Back to you, Daily Blast Live.
Thanks, Maude. We'll be right back.
Hey, welcome back to Beauty Blast, guys. I'm Juran for the Slay, and while we're here, let's go ahead and pull up those search bars, type in J-A-R-A-Y for the Slay, all one word, my friends, on all your social media platforms so we can be friends. Back to business. Welcome back to Beauty Blast, guys. Today, we're talking about some red light beauty tips and some of my favorite ways to save some time while you're getting ready. Today, though, I want to talk about traveling with your beauty tips. Now, when you're traveling with your beauty products, it's important not to overpack. Now, I know, anything could happen while you're on vacation, whether you're at the beach, in the mountains, whatever you may. You want to make sure that you have everything that you need, but you don't need to overpack. So that's why I went ahead and made a little list for us so that we all know the expectation and that we're not just carrying a toolkit around with us, okay? Now, number 1, you want to bring the eye essentials. So some of my eye essentials are going to be a mascara, Full size or travel size is okay. If you need a travel size, check your local Sephora or even ask at a counter if there might be a sample size that you can try out before your actual vacation, okay? So you can do a travel size mascara. You can do a little bit of an eyeliner. I prefer to do a pencil liner when I'm traveling just because it's going to help to make sure that you have more flexibility with your looks. Now, another thing that I would recommend for eyes is one eyeshadow stick. Choose one and just make it neutral. So this way you can kind of be more flexible with your looks, whether it be more of a bronze, a blush color, or cream. You can kind of have a little bit more diversity with your looks by using a blush or bronzer, which we'll get to next. Now, another thing that you can do is get an all-in-one blush, bronzer, and highlight palette. These guys are great to make sure that you're all ready to go for any look. And last but not least, don't forget a tinted moisturizer. It has your SPF and your hydration. So guys, let me know if these beauty tips worked for your travel, and go ahead and write me in at Juran for the Slay on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I'm sure we'll connect soon. We'll see you guys next time.
You could say the tradition is as old as the U.S. itself. The Constitution requires the President to address Congress on the State of the Union from, quote, time to time. The yearly speech was first known as the annual message and wasn't officially called the State of the Union address until 1947. Originally, it was a lengthy report on the executive branch and also focused on the budget and economy. But in 1913, President Woodrow Wilson turned it into a platform to rally support for his agenda. So how much time should you set aside if you plan to watch the whole thing? Well, last year, President Trump's speech lasted 1 hour and 22 minutes, and that's not even the longest one in history. Former President Bill Clinton holds that record at just shy of 1 hour and 29 minutes. And that's connecting the dots.
If you're too good to return your card, obviously you're a bad person. I don't want you as a neighbor. I don't want you as a friend. I judge people on how they use their turn signals and their shopping carts. And if you do neither, you are not my friend.
Hey,
today's Sandals word of the day is kisses.
Welcome back to DBL. Joaquin Phoenix can work a room full of celebrities, of course, but when he meets royalty, it's a different story. Check this out. This is when he met Prince William at a British award show. Joaquin, I think that's what you call a curtsy. This awkward moment has gone viral, but what do you do when you meet royalty?
I don't know. When I met Michael Jordan, I didn't know what to say. So he shook my hand, but it was more like my hand went, my hand disappeared. And then I just looked up at it and said, I've heard so many great things about you.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's Chicago royalty, though. It's all right. It's all right.
Like the dumbest thing ever.
And it's kind of like when you were trying to be cool with someone at work, but then you're still in a work setting, so you try and like dap it up, like, what's up, bro? And then they kind of hit you with the handshake as well. So
that happens a lot to you over here?
A little bit.
Everyone's pretty cool.
Every once in a while, yeah.
All right.
What?
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy Tuesday.